Fabulous. Thank you, everyone, again, for being here, for sharing this space with us. And yes, please continue to talk in the chat amongst yourself as you feel called to. I am here for you. So if things come up, you're always welcome to chat me as well, as long as it's with the understanding that I'm not really here to like kind of chat about our days right now. It's more like if there's something really pressing coming up that you need help with, I'm here for you. So as I mentioned, my name is Leah Precious Thunder Warrior. I'm calling in the Babylonian wisdom, Babylonian tradition. This work that I've been doing, I've really been doing it on my own for, I want to say 15 years now, or 10 to 15 years, kind of officially practicing for about 2. And when I do this Babylonian work, we're actually going to be calling it in more this month and months going forward, as I will be kind of doing more weekly classes. So that if this is a class that calls to you, please feel free to check out the Facebook page, the Eventbrite, and you'll see that we actually, we've got a lot of stuff like this coming around. So I already introduced myself, so I don't need to do too much of that, but I would like to talk about the moment that we're in. I am feeling such relief, as I mentioned on my newsletter, that we're finally free from Venus retrograde. My signs are, I've actually got all 4 elements. So I'm a Virgo, Libra cusp, and then my moon is in Sag, and my rising is in Cancer. So I'm ruled pretty strongly by Venus, and I was definitely ready to see her come back in a more kind of relaxed way, especially because I love Ishtar, who is here with us on the altar amongst a few other people who I work with. And especially, you know, I love Capricorn energy as well. I'm just glad she's moving direct, Venus, into Capricorn. So we're still going to kind of reap the benefits of any saving that we did, any kind of work around creating a foundation for ourselves, for our hearts, for our love. And I think that it's really wonderful to just have her back. I feel like I felt a major heart activation as I realized that she was back. So grateful for that, and grateful for all retrogrades to actually be leaving us. Mercury retrograde, I believe, is until the 4th. And from then on, we're actually going to have about 4 months of just freedom to really grow ourselves, grow our business, grow our needs, our abundance. So this is a really kind of perfect time to be falling into alignment with each other, because right now we have the opportunity to start to kind of just see our desires and our dreams become fully manifest under the stars, under the planets, and with all of them working in support and in tandem of us, with us. So that's always incredibly exciting. As we all know, we're here today because it's the Aquarius new moon. It fell between yesterday and today, but of course, every new moon and I guess I should say lunar event can be felt about 48 hours before and after. So this is something that its power is really emanating with us, especially because what's kind of lovely is that with the full moon in Cancer that just occurred, the moon sort of returns home, and now she's beginning again. And we are also at the start of the Lunar New Year. To anyone who is celebrating the new Lunar New Year, I want to wish you a happy new year, and happy year of the tiger. I think it's going to be a really incredible year to come. And I think that any new beginnings right now that are usually in place when it comes to the new moon are heightened even more by the fact that we are now beginning a new journey with the moon, just as 1/1 was the new solar year. You know, in January was, I feel like, all of us acclimating to the fact that we're in 2022, in this wild time that we're in this wilderness. And now the new moon is restarting as well, or the moon is starting as well, beginning again and becoming new. So it's a rebirthing that means an entire new adventure to come, an entire new journey. And this is a really wonderful time to really clear house and clear like energies in the body, and to instead bring in fresh energy, allow for a little forgiveness for everything that kind of occurred before, and really encourage something new and inspired within our mindset. What's of course also really exciting is that with Aquarius, as we're working with Aquarius, Aquarius is of course an energy that is one of uniqueness, of moving to the beat of your own drum, and is kind of allowing us to align with what's in our heart more than anything else. It's the ability to kind of be new, but really return to ourselves, a new journey where we step back into our shoes in a way and we go, oh, I saw all these things that I did last year that I did them, but they weren't me. It was like they were done instead of me doing the doing. And I think it's sort of, it's a perfect moment to look and to say, what can I, with a clear mind, do to be my full self? Aquarius is very community minded as well. And so this is a wonderful time of allowing for ourselves to come into community, to be the humanitarian, to take care of each other. And it's also all done through the mind because it's an air sign. So it's literally kind of a reconfiguring, a re-engineering of our mind space through coming back into self and sort of being unafraid to be the self. And we'll be talking a little bit about that as well in our second meditation. So what is kind of exciting about Aquarius is as well that with this kind of water carrier energy, it's sort of the ability to look at our emotions, see them, and recategorize them. And that is especially held when Aquarius comes into contact with the moon. So there's really this deep connection to a full kind of mystical healing of kind of bearing your story, bearing that which came before you, and doing so in this kind of humanitarian connected way of collaboration, of being yourself for the greater good. In the indigenous way that I was taught, it's important not just to heal yourself, but to spend the time healing your community. And if you kind of don't do the second, you aren't really working as a healer in a way, because, and I don't mean to tell anyone who they are, who they're not, but what I mean to say is if you're not going to do spiritual healing on other people, right, that's okay. But it is important to remember that your community exists around you and that we are all kind of in appreciation that each and every one of us is separate, but uniquely a part of us and connected to us. I like to say it's like there are no divisions, but there are sacred boundaries. So we can appreciate each other with respect, but at the same time knowing that we are all the same. So I feel like that gives us a pretty good sense of the energy of this moment. We've got that kind of Venus and Capricorn energy. So I feel like this is a time to just really feel beloved, feel like grounded and happy in your heart chakra, and feel really kind of harmonious and expanded. That being said, there's also Uranus, who is the natural ruler of Aquarius, aligning with Jupiter, meaning that there's a lot of positive omens with this coming of the new lunar year, this coming of kind of the Aquarian age, as I like to call it, because we had those two amazing blue moons in full moon in Aquarius last year, one right after the other. And now we've got this new Aquarian moon right before 2/2/22. So there's really a lot of being able to shift out of what limits us moving into hopefulness, moving into abundance, and just kind of welcoming in the good fortune that is kind of the magic of the Lunar New Year across, the many cultures that actually celebrate it as kind of a significant holiday. So I think that with that, we have a pretty good sense of like what we need to focus on today. The only other thing that I will mention is that this is going to work really well with tomorrow's class 2222, 2022. And that will also align very much with the 222, 2022, because I'm feeling really called to work on heart medicine. And this is kind of a beginning of opening ourselves to ourselves. But once you look into your own reflection, what you come back to is center. And what is at the center but the heart? So something to keep in mind that we are in, it's Valentine's Day is coming up. I chose not to do a Valentine's event this month, but we can work with self-love, self-passion, passion for the things that make us happy, as well as opening ourselves to new love, if that is kind of part of your goals. So I just recommend keeping that in mind and being open to the medicine of tomorrow as well as 222, because I think that this year with that harmonic 6 energy, and then tomorrow is 8 energy, the 22nd is 10 energy, it's sort of no mistake that we're coming in together to really harmonize with almost like the Fibonacci frequency of like the stars all opening, no more retrogrades. And with us, it's just that heart energy, that abundance energy, all balancing, all even numbers, and these repeating numbers just appearing to us. So with all that in mind, I think it's really exciting. So let me just, we're kind of ready to begin and it's time, but I just would like to introduce what we're doing today. So I like to do 2 meditations. The first is kind of to ground us and to heal us. And especially because this is a new moon, a lunar new year, new moon. This is going to be specifically about kind of clearing house with the body being the house. So working on just kind of realigning with the self. And we'll do a little breath work and we'll really kind of work into that sort of appreciating the individual body that is here and has arrived to the ceremony. And then the second meditation is when I call in the deities, I call in my deities, your deities. I'm going to call in Uranus, but I'm also going to be calling in the deities of the Lunar New Year. So that is like Buddha and Kuan Yin and the Jade Emperor and these people who will talk about them briefly during the meditation. And I recommend, if you would like to learn more, researching in your own time, because there's really a wealth of knowledge about these kind of indigenous Chinese ways of mystical knowledge as well. So we'll be working with these energies, and call in whoever else you want to. Like I have this altar and I have this one that you cannot see. My altar is full of people who would love to help you. And then there's also the people who are behind you as well. So work with who is ready to work with you. And we'll be doing shape shifting today. And I think that's really important for working with Aquarius, because shape shifting is really about shifting back into yourself at the end. You become someone else so that you really become yourself. So we're going to be doing shape-shifting in the second meditation. I strongly recommend staying until the end so that you can receive the full download, and otherwise, you'll leave as a tiger or a bear or something, and maybe that'll be a little awkward. So keeping that in mind as well. All right, and I know it's also in bulk. And so Bridget is also with us. I felt called to work with the Lunar New Year because Bridget can also come through tomorrow. So I wish us all a very happy Imbolc as well, welcoming in that abundance and welcoming in that energy of kind of this really shifting open doorway that's with us right now. As we're moving from the beginning of winter towards the end, we're right in the center. And it's like while we're at the center, the doors opened, there's the new moon and there's the 2-2. So feel free to work with that energy as well. And we'll be calling her in, but we're really going to be focusing on the shape-shifting. So if shape-shifting wants to be part of your kind of practice around Imbolc, welcome that too, and I welcome that. So without further ado, I'm now going to ask that the music turn on for my production director, please. And again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing your spirit and your space. And we will get started. Okay. All right, now we are coming together in alignment. But before we do so, it's always important to connect to the self, connect to the center through the breath. So I'm going to invite us to together count to 9. And when I say 9, we're going to breathe in. And when I say 9, we're going to breathe out. I will direct you for the first few times, and then we'll go into it together and find our rhythm. So breathing in now, 9. And 9. Breathing in 9. And breathing out 9. Breathing in 9. And breathing out 9. Nine. And 9. And 9. And 9. We'll do one final breath, our hearts coming together in this ceremony, in this space. Breathing in 9. And breathing out 9. Together now, we are honoring this time as we are arriving as our true selves, arriving into this new beginning, holding great appreciation for the peoples, celebrating this new journey of the moon around the earth, as we too are coming into celebration. We are honoring the beauty of the moon, as well as the quiet and graceful beauty that comes with rebirthing ourselves anew, our true selves under the Aquarian stars, and arriving. I'm going to just get us all grounded now. Brushing each and every one of you with the energy of the pheasant, giving us all a smoke cleansing and an offering to the universe for our cleansing, for our spirits, for our magic today. And we, in turn, are grounding into ourselves, into our great uniqueness, with the awareness of the Aquarian moon above us. We become a little softer now in the body, softer in the joints, especially the shoulders. Breathing into the body, new life, new openness. And breathing consciously into our chests, feeling a deep connection between third eye, throat, and heart as you breathe. We are relaxing and listening to the story of our body with love as we come closer to our inner voice. We are opening our consciousness, dialing in, listening to self. And with this practice now, starting from the bottom of our feet, we are beginning now to feel a radiating warmth of relaxation, of feelings of safety and love. We are safe to see, safe to speak, safe to exist. We are not perceived by anyone right now. We are not experienced. We are only experiencing. And we are unburdened by the weight of other people, blanketed instead in the feeling of safety and comfort. If there's anything that kept us from being grounded, that has melted away now, as we are returning to self. And that warm and soft, beloved cloud travels up your body in a spiral, moving up and surrounding the stomach now, giving us some time to really engage our confidence, engage the fire that makes us passionate. Grounding into our confidence. And opening ourselves to the confidence of the power of the magic of the self. Knowing that what makes you you is also what makes you lovable. And for that you are grounded. For your power is unassailable. We listen now to the voice in our stomach, listening to how the organs feel, if anything is tense or emotional. We're not telling it to be any certain way. Instead, we're simply letting that voice be heard. Letting a new story be written. As that story, that voice in your stomach, is given the opportunity to rest, so that instead your strength can replace it. We are releasing the reaction to ourselves, to our histories, by giving space for the responses that rise up, and then giving peace. We are allowing for the clarity and clearing of the past so that we may create a new mystical way of experiencing our power. I'm taking a moment now for any final messages of the stomach before we move on. Offering a last loving energy or wisdom to yourself around your stomach. And now we move up to the heart, welcoming self-love, self-appreciation, welcoming in the love of the gentle moon, so brilliantly soft and divine in its new nature. Offering smoke cleanse to your heart, just clearing out whatever does not serve you there, letting it fall away, letting it fall to the fire. Clearing the back and the front of the heart as we welcome in that self-love, self-joy, self-seeing with gentle compassion. Taking the time to really be with the heart, knowing that there is an individuality that wants to be felt and that has safety now, and allowing anything that blocks that individuality to just be shifted, shifted, shifted. shifted and cleared. Awareness to the organ that is your life center, the place where your blood is filtered and processed, the holder of your life force. As the water bringer Aquarius, we relax now into the heart. And we release into air through water, the voice of the heart, the story that resides in our bodies. Inviting in the new moon and the Aquarian energy as we affirm and allow ourselves to receive however we are right now, if we are awake, if we are dreaming, if we are in meditation, to just receive and affirm and allow that we are here and that we can allow for self-love and self-appreciation, to like ourselves, to hold ourselves in peaceful and loving vibration. Blessing that heart and listening to the voice within your heart, listening to how the body and spirit feels, listening to the heart organ, listening and letting anything tense or emotional come up so that that voice can simply be heard. Letting the heart story be told, seen, and heard. releasing any reaction to ourselves, to our history, by giving space for those responses to rise up and accepting peace. And cleansing you now with waters. You can take a little breath here for a moment in gratitude for the work that we have done. As our awareness now raises to our upper chakras, highlighted now more than ever during Aquarius season, our psychic energy as our healer, as our witch, as our shaman energy. You may want to take a moment to put your hands on your jaw or on the back of your head and to hold it and relax. Breathing in to a relaxation of the muscles of your jaw, of your neck. You don't want to grip too tightly. You just want to invite a little movement. You may want to cover your mouth, relax the skin around your cheeks, around your lips. You may even feel called to relax your eyes and your brow. Grounding down into the body that speaks for us, for the mechanism that is our brain. Into mechanisms that allow ourselves to express, to speak creativity of our reality, the ability to dream, and to dream our future into manifested reality. We recognize that our reactions, our stories, our voice has all been an attempt to make sense of the world that does not always explain itself, to the knowledge that we were not always given the appropriate tools to walk this path, and to the kindness that we sometimes so deeply desire and so truly deserve We release our burdens as we recognize the story of our mind. And just wherever you're holding, let that muscle of your brain, of your throat, of your crown, of all three, come into rest as it is blessed under this new moon in Aquarius, as it is cleared with the power of the true unique self who continues to survive. We see that story. We see our expression and our attempt to make sense. We are opening ourselves, opening our throat, opening our third eye, opening our crown, and allowing for a removal of the guilt of seeing, of expressing, of anything that has taken your power from you to simply exist as an incredible, powerful psychic being. Blessing you with pink tourmaline for a love of the self across all dimensions. For we are readying to begin our journey again. So let us do so with that blanket of warmth now fully around us, fully securing us, fully blessing us from head to toe. Before us was the path with a roadmap, missing many streets, addresses, and right turns. So we take a moment now to see that we are building our own roadmap, that we have scribbled in many roads ourselves, and that through this mindfulness, this creation of a new blank slate, we are listening to our visions, listening to our minds, opening our crowns, and recording the importance of our voice always heard. as we invite in a vision and a humble and deep blessing now from the universe, from the stars, from the moon, from the lunar new year, to fully expand and reawaken ourselves, to invite confidence to our self-love. Together we are dreaming, together we are reawakening, and allowing for a great love around us at all times, to offer us support to rebuild, to become new, and to fully begin again at any time. Taking a moment now for any last wisdom or message meant just for you. As this first meditation comes to a close, we sit for a moment in silence. And the music will stay on as we now go into a 5-minute break. Everyone is still on mute. You are welcome to write in the chat if anything has come up that you'd like to share amongst each other or with me. And we will begin the second meditation and our shape shifting very soon. Take about another minute or two, maybe one more minute in break space, and then we'll get right back into it. Now is a great time to journal. If you have your essential oils, forehead, back of the nape of the neck, back of the head are great places to apply. Anything that comes up, you can hold your crystal if you'd like to download with it. All is welcome. All right, let's begin the new music. If you're still taking notes, go ahead, finish up. We've got about another minute here. Maybe like 30 seconds. All right, we're gonna begin now. So if you are still kind of finishing up, go ahead, just for the sake of time. Let's take a minute and breathe in and out again. We are inviting within us an inner glowing now. The feeling of power, of self-love and self-appreciation returning to us as we are opening ourselves now to a new lunar cycle, beginning our ceremony, working in tandem with this new month, resonating with the new moon, with the vibrations of 2 repeated, the moon rebirthing, and our spirits coming back to life. We take a moment now and breathe fully into the brain. You may even want to work with the throat. Breathing fully as we are opening ourselves to the power of our mind. While you're breathing into your mind, you may feel it coming in and then moving to the back. It kind of comes out and then goes back out again. Two more breaths into our mind here. And one more. I will send some Reiki here as I invite us all to sit deeply and fully into our power, grounding down, grounding in. We put our focus into our forehead. Forehead from back to front. Good, good, good. And I offer now a prayer to the great beings around us. Great thanks to the moon who watches over our waters, and to the great sun who watches over our days. I call in the 7 directions, the north, the east, the south, the west, the below, the above, and the center. I call in your ancestors, your deities, your animals, your plants, your sacred lands, your astral guides and helpers. You may see them now gathering around you. As we are all in this ceremony, they are gathering around us. And I call in my guides, ancestors, and deities now too. Father Ninurta, Saturn, the great warrior of Babylon. Mother Ishtar, Venus, goddess of love. I call in Hathor and Isis. I call in Osiris. I call in Guan Yin. I call in the great Buddha. I call in Shakti Ma, Durga Ma, Hecate, Freya, Bridget, Shamash and Sin, sun and moon of Babylon. The great star beings and Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, and finally I call in Uranus and offer you now, with all these beings around us, my prayer of great thanks for your protection and for watching over us. Great heaven keeper, whose mighty frame knows no respite, Father Uranus of all, from whom the world arose, hear, bounteous parent, source and end of all, forever whirling round this earthly ball, abode of the gods, whose guardian power surrounds the eternal world with ever-during bounds, whose ample and strong body is through us, our nature, our home. Ethereal, earthly, azure, full of forms, untamable power, forever blessed, deity sublime, all-seeing heaven, father of time, a novel mystic shine, our wish is crowned through his life divine. Thank you Father Uranus. Thank you, great moon mothers. Thank you, great sun fathers. We honor as well Guan Yin, Buddha, the Jade Emperor. Guan Yin, loving, laughing, compassionate, blessing us deeply with abundance and good luck and good fortune. We ask that through you we are delivered from the spirits of the past and inviting in opportunity now for new sweet reward, for great delight and cleansing, for a fortunate and lucky start, golden wealth to come. Through the laughing Buddha, we welcome in the great delight and all joy of all things. And we laugh for all that was lost, the forgotten selves, the forgotten friends, the forgotten ancestors. We honor the Jade Emperor, God of heaven, ruler of the earth, the underworld, and the above, creator of the universe, and husband to the great Empress of precious moonlight, who today is reborn, offering us her eye and her support. We are asked now to be joined by all of these beings as we see and we welcome back that third eye open, that visioning opening, that visioning and dream appearing. And through this dream, we see that we are now being approached by a great spirit parade. One of dragons and animals and ancestors and spirits across all cultures of yours, all celebrating this time, fires and fireworks, dragons, tigers, birds, and peoples. As above us the moon peeks out to see us. As these beings come to us, we are borne aloft and carried by this parade. Moving to the realm of these beings, we are flying together, taking the paths of spirit to the altar and doors of the temple of lunar healing under the Aquarian new moon. And we begin to arrive at this temple, seeing perhaps in an ornate structure, a Taoist or Buddhist temple, perhaps a place at the top of the mountains. or something closer to us that represents our ancestors, a healing hut, a pyramid. You could even see a church, any place of worship that represents you returning to yourself today. Taking in this temple and how it appears to you, as we notice as well that there are great walls that obscure the place behind those doors. They're very tall, and we can only see outside of this temple. Nothing within, nothing beyond, only the gateway. And our guides and allies bring us to this altar in front of this temple, this altar to the energies of the new moon, where the great beings of our spiritual team sit and hold space for us, to care for us, to advise us, and to come to our aid. As they invite us now to bow to the transformation that we are about to receive under these great powers and these great keepers of the new moon. I light my own incense for all of us, for a ceremonial offering for this new beginning, so that we may all find our blessings. And as we stand before this temple, we now feel a severing of all ties to the past and all ties to the future, a removal of all memories, as the full energies of the divine now are combing us and brushing us at this altar, so that the winds around us, the air around us, is matching and becoming one with the winds of space-time, as we are becoming more and more aligned through this dream at this portal doorway of this temple to the ever movement of the ocean of air that we live in, to the space around us that is all wind, all air, all magical, and all powerful. The air is within us. The air of the divines is around us. And the Jade King, Uranus, Buddha, Guan Yin, Great Empress Moon, Hecate, they all reach for us and grant us today the gift of shape-shifting, the boon of being able to surf the waves of experience, of thought, and of mind, to overcome all obstacles in a single moment with the knowledge that we can be removed of the past, and the air around us becomes electric, like a woven blanket. That warmth that we have gathered, now our power and our aura. Our vision opens and opens and opens as this quilt of comfort and support becomes a weight. And it becomes a new skin that changes us, metamorphosing and transforming us as all the helpers and ancestors put their hands on you now and say, offer us now a moment to become something new, to shed all of the skins of the past around us like stars, as if we are floating in space-time at all times, even when our feet is planted firmly on the ground. No more resistance. We simply leave the body behind and all the troubles that went with it. They are no longer ours, as we are becoming a new creature under the weight of the magic of the air around us and under the light of the moon, the new lunar year in Aquarius, becoming open to the dreamy self and transforming our arms and our legs and our torsos, elongating and shrinking, the texture of our skin changing. We may become a great beast like a griffin or a dragon. We may become a predator of the savannah or the forests like the lion and the bear. We may become a great eagle. We may become a small fish, a soft rabbit, a whale, a dolphin. All that we are is changing into something that has always been us, but is nonetheless not us. And as we are doing so, we may want to move our bodies like an animal. You may want to get on all fours or stand up and dance and sing. The energy within us building as we are shifting, everything growing and everything changing with us. The doors of the temple open, and we see that there is a great wilderness beyond, a great forest, a wild world abound, rivers and mountains, the place of the great wild animals, a realm fit for our shifted state, and a place for our opening, a wilderness that is our home. Let us now run, fly, swim, and be fully free. This wilderness is our home at the beginning of the new Aquarian age, under the harmony of numerological 2222-2022, 222-2022. Abundance, psychic energy of new moon, stars, and the true self at the heart of this creature, fully empowered, calling to us as we are visioning and dreaming in the trance of this new self, connecting to the highest spirits of all things, the energy moving from our roots to our crown. As I send you any Reiki you need to be this creature, to be your fully empowered self. All of our senses alighted, smell, taste, and touch. We smell the scent of the many animals that have passed through this way, the many selves that we are passing behind as we are surrounded by our guides, receiving the full downloads from the new moon, the importance of the sign of Aquarius, the great power of the Lunar New Year. We are running, we are wild. We are running and we are wild, and we are true to ourselves. There is no past here. There is no past here. There is no past here. We pull it out from your dreaming space so you are only dreaming, you're only creating, you're only becoming. What does your beast self have that your human self needed? What is it that you were meant to see and hear and keep? As the fully empowered creature that you have become, that you will always be on your future roadmap, in your full confidence, in your full self-beloved awareness. Through this wildness, through our running, through our creation, we are coming onto a clearing of this wilderness, a place of rest, a watering hole where all is at truce, all is at peace. The beings of the moment are all with us with compassion, and they point us to this lake at the center. With a waterfall creating rainbows of magic that feed into this place. Today we are the Aquarius. We are the storyteller, the water keeper, the water bearer. And as we come to feed in this water, we are welcoming a clearing of blessings. The water is so clear that it is mirror-like. And so that when we see into it, we see our animal selves. We see the true self. We see all the power that has been gained and that we are shining completely as something new in this mirror. We see the time traveler who has made it this far through many memories and many beings and many places. And we allow ourselves to rest in our power as we welcome a full appreciation for the entirety of the self that has lived through these times. We see our truth as it cuts through the veils of illusion that we are less than, that we are anything other than our power. And we allow for the knowledge that obsessive remembrance is not the answer, that sometimes the past is left completely behind for the better. We will always have the scars, but we can put to rest that which does not serve us. We see all this in our mirror, and we see all future selves reflected back. We allow ourselves a true deep love from the bottom of our hearts to our future self success and good fortune and good luck, blessing our thoughts, our magic, our power, and dreaming our reality into something new. A great portal doorway opens now in the water, an opportunity for one final change into this new year, to be reborn as the next version of ourselves, as we ready to shift back. Whether you are a wolf or a dragon or a bear, we let out one final cry to this moon. Our wildness never apart from us, with no shame. Awoo! Now we pass through becoming a being only of air, of light and dark matter, of power, willpower expressed in all directions. We are blessed completely as we become fully melded with the magic of the moment of the new lunar year under the sign of Aquarius. In this portal, Uranus places a headdress upon our head, a crown for our future. We are given now the symbol of the animal that we changed into as a present for our heart. Both gifts now received with great thanks and gratitude. Thank you, great beings. Thank you, great universe, for all the changes that occurred today, for the love in our hearts, and for our existence. Let us now all return from this temple, from this portal upon portals, back to our bodies and to this space and time.